Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Fox Valley Today. I'm your host, Meg Duray, and we are going to be talking today about a really big city in our area. Of course, we're in the Fox Valley, and Aurora is really a central location. It's, we're a far west suburb of Chicago, but Aurora is really a city in and of itself, and really a destination as you're looking for holiday events. So many arts and cultural things that you can look at in the area. And one of the really big events, a great draw to Aurora, is the Festival of Lights celebration that happens in Phillips Park. We're going to be joined today by Mary Doherty. She is the manager of the Festival of Lights, and also John Jaros, and I hope I'm pronouncing that. I forgot to ask you beforehand.
Jaros, either way.
Okay. And you are the executive director of the Aurora Historical Society, and
Yes.
you've got a few different functions. I want to thank both of you for coming out today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right, now, John, before we get to the Festival of Lights, I wanted to say you do have a couple different locations that the Aurora Historical Society kind of functions out of, or has something there. So if you could just give us a brief little overview of where you are located if people are looking to find you.
Well, sure. We have a historic house museum called the Tanner House. That's at the corner of Oak and Cedar on the west side of Aurora. And for location, that would be a couple of blocks west of Route 31 and 2 blocks north of New York Street. It's in a residential neighborhood called the Tanner District.
Okay.
And that's our house museum, and right now we're decorated for the holidays, and we'll talk about that a little later. We also have right in the middle of downtown Aurora, the David L. Pierce Art and History Center. That's at 20 East Downer. It's about a block south of the Paramount Theater and about a block north of the public library.
Okay.
And there we have our museum store items with a lot of holiday gift items for you. And we can talk about that when you get to me.
All right. Now, Mary, the Festival of Lights is kind of this growing celebration that's happening, and it has been kind of born out of the Rotary Club of Aurora, which you are a member of. How did that begin?
Well, 8 years ago, our then president, Larry Byers, challenged our new members. We had about 6 or 7 brand new members, and said, I want you guys to come up with a service project and a fundraiser. It has to have an element of service, community service, and an element of raising money, and then you can decide where to spend the money. So we're thinking, okay, I'll do a flower show, a flower sale, and then we'll build a community park or plant a community garden. No, the Festival of Lights. They took it to the mayor that summer, 8 years ago, and said, this is what we'd like to do, and it's something that the mayor has always wanted. Jim Pilmer from the city of Aurora always wanted to have some kind of a drive-through festival, a light show in Aurora. So the mayor said, this sounds great, it sounds awesome, what year are you thinking about doing this? And we said, November this year.
Oh, wow.
The first year we leased all of the displays and had a company come and put them up. The next year we started purchasing them. And the third year, one of our members, who's on the committee still, Pam Bellum, said, well, why are we spending $50,000 for somebody to put these displays up? We can do it. So that's how that started. We put all the displays up. We have 2 semi-trailer tractors that hold our equipment and are stored on city property. We put them all up. All the displays go up with team captains that have come from various businesses and communities in the area. Put all our displays up, come back, and take them all down.
Wow.
So it's a huge job. It takes 3 days to put everything up, and then another week or so to wire them.
My goodness.
To all work, and it's all volunteer-led. There's all volunteer-driven.
Now, when did you open for this year? How early are you out there?
The Friday after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
That's our first opening night. And we generally close the 26th, but because of Christmas being sort of at the end, we wouldn't be able to get team captains out on the weekend, so we're going to stay open through that weekend.
So kind of a little benefit for us residents who are maybe looking to come in,
Yes.
Everybody's home for the holidays and still home that weekend.
I had a man call me a few days ago and said, would a bus fit through? I said, well, a school bus came through last night, so I'm guessing a bus will come through. And he said, well, our family's all going to be together, and we're just going to rent a bus.
Oh, wow.
I haven't seen it yet, but...
So they might be on their way. Now, give us an idea of where you are located and the times that people can come through for this.
Sure. We're at Phillips Park in Aurora, on Aurora's southeast side, and it's open every night, Monday through Sunday through Thursday, we close at 9. We
Okay.
open every night at 5. We close at 9 during the week, and then on Fridays and Saturdays, we stay open until 10. So it's become a destination. It's grown. This past weekend, we had over 3,500 cars go through
Wow.
in 3 nights. So
Wow.
it's finally, I think we've caught on, and people
Sure.
are coming from a lot of different areas to see
Well,
the
I have
show.
to say, I was one of those cars that
Yes,
came through this
thank
weekend.
you.
It's my first year, but especially as you're going, there are so many shopping destinations around the area, you know, as people are coming, that all-pervasive mall area that you're
Yes.
getting your Christmas shopping done. You know, make it a night to head out there afterwards or beforehand. Boy, you know, there was a line when we got there. I mean, with that many cars coming through, but once you got up there, it moved pretty quickly, and you know, something to look at through every piece of the show as you go through. Give us an idea of some of the aspects, some of the decor, and I know that you've even had some that's specifically constructed for this event.
Yes, well, if you were out last night, our brand new display this year is the Rotary Wheel, the symbol of Rotary. The Aurora Rotary Club has paid for this, sponsors it in partnership with the city. We couldn't do it without the city because we're on city property, and so many of the people that work there are so helpful to us. But we have animated displays, we have static displays, we have 125 snowflakes hanging in the trees everywhere. We've got 2 tunnels, one that's just lights, so the other is the leaping reindeer that go back and forth, and it's grown. We're probably a little close to $400,000 now in infrastructure and pieces and displays and our trucks.
Okay, now talk a little bit about those snowflakes that you mentioned. There is kind of a special partnership that you have for those.
There is. The snowflakes actually grew out of something that we saw in Morris, a display in Morris, Illinois, where they had snowflakes everywhere. So we looked at purchasing them, and we found out about a partnership that we could do with Sheridan Correctional Facility. They have a welding class there that's taught through Lakeland College, and we were able to take our displays to them and say, this is what we have in mind. Do you think you can do something like that? They created 100 now. They've done 100 snowflakes and 100 Christmas trees.
Oh, wow.
For us over the last 4 years. And it's a win-win situation for us because we feel like we're partnering with people that have an opportunity to do something really positive with their lives, who can say to their families, drive through City Park. I built that tree, or I built that. So it's been a great partnership with us.
Now you've got, you know, Rotary Club is obviously sponsoring this and working with the city. You do have a lot of other sponsors that come alongside, and I know they're given a little sign as you go through that you can see the partnerships that you have. But
Right.
I don't want to make you list all of them, but
Oh, good.
'cause don't want to miss anyone. But I know
Right.
that you have so many sponsors that you work with that are, you know, those high-level sponsors.
And the sponsorship dollars allow us to buy all of our equipment, new displays, help us repair the displays. We do a free will offering, a donation offering as you drive through the park. All of those dollars go back into the community in some way, not just the Aurora, but the Fox Valley community. We try to do an emphasis on youth-based programs, but that money is not used to fund the show. So our
Okay.
sponsors, you know, we're blessed with wonderful sponsors. Several city aldermen, High Cutter has just been a wonderful sponsor, not only financially. They provide drivers for our trucks, and they're the ones that come out and lay all the displays down and then pick them all back up again and load them into our trailers. Alpha Graphics does all our printing for us, and you know, he's a great sponsor. And you're right, because I was going to start to worry that I'll forget someone. But Rush Copley is another great sponsor, Presence, Mercy. We've just been really blessed with sponsorship and people that really want to support this, because we feel at Rotary that this is a community service. We're not doing this to raise money, we're doing this to do something positive for our community.
Yeah, and it's just such a great family event this year, which I didn't even realize was a new thing, but as we came up to the entrance, there was a little sign that said, you know, tune your radio to this station, and there was some holiday music playing that just, I mean, it really added something, I think, to the whole thing, but then it brought in another aspect as well.
Right, that was a dream we've had, to get music in the park, but it just seemed insurmountable. Every year we try to find out, how can we get music? or just tell them to tune to a specific radio station. Well, one of our members said, I saw this really cool display of singing reindeer, and you tune it to a radio station, the reindeer sing to the, these 7 different songs. I said, go for it. So, we did a little fundraiser for it and raised the money, and the reindeer are singing in the park this year. So come hear our lights.
Absolutely, and it was a nice little family-friendly, the songs that are, the Holly Jolly Christmas and,
All
those
old.
things that you can sing along to and kind of those classics. And then one came on and my husband said, this isn't a Christmas song.
Happy?
Yeah.
I have no idea how that got onto the loop, but it's one of the popular ones.
I will say, we have a 2.5-year-old,
I
and
bet
even
she knows
she
the words.
knows. She
You
starts
bet.
clapping
Okay.
along, and
You bet.
it's just neat to hear that, you can hear it a little bit coming from the other cars, and
Yeah.
knowing you're just kind of experiencing it all at once with
Yeah.
everybody. It's a very, like you said, community-driven thing. Let's talk again a little bit about Rotary. Now, you do community service projects, and this is, the funds that people donate. It's a free admission for
Right.
the event itself. But the donations that you get from this, what sort of projects do you really look at through Rotary?
Well, we support a lot of projects. Any organization can apply for a grant with us, and generally we give away around $30,000 a year through our grant process. The Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, those kinds of things. We're looking at a project now funding part of the children's garden in the new Aurora Public Library. We've made major donations to the Aurora Food Pantry and to Hesed House, the Interfaith Food Pantry, not the Aurora
Okay.
Food Pantry, and Hesed House. And our Rotarians are all involved. We're involved in all aspects of community service as well as international service. Rotary is a huge organization, so
All right.
I'm blessed to be part of it.
Great. I know we have the website information available there, but if you're looking for just Rotary in general, that is an international, I believe, organization.
Rotary.org is the international website, and then AuroraRotary.org will get you to our website with a link to the Festival of Lights website.
Okay, and the Festival of Lights website, it's really great. You have videos. If anybody has never seen it, has no
Right.
idea what to expect, you can get a really great idea from there. All your sponsors are listed on there, and even if people are looking to maybe become a sponsor to get involved somehow, I'm
there.
sure you're always looking for
You
that.
bet. There's a link and a donation link. You bet.
All right, now again, that is open every night at Phillips Park in Aurora, Sunday through Thursday from 5 to 9, and Friday through Saturday from 5 to 10. Now we're going to take a quick break here, but when we come back, we are going to talk with John from the Aurora Historical Society, and really I think it goes so well together that Aurora is really a great destination for the holidays. We have so many events here and so many different things that you can take advantage of. The City of Lights, and we've got the Festival of Lights here. We're going to hear more about the Aurora Historical Society coming up right after the break. Stay with us on Fox Valley Today.
When we don't talk, when we don't touch, when it doesn't feel like we're even in love, it matters to me. When I don't know what to say, don't know what to do, don't know if it really even matters to you, it matters to me.
Congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow. I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money going to come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at nationalguard.com.
What? I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
We're back on Fox Valley today. I am Meg Duray, and we're speaking with Mary Doherty. She is the manager of Festival of Lights, the event in Aurora that happens at Phillips Park every year that is open now every night through December 28th. We are going to talk too with John Jaros, who is the executive director of the Aurora Historical Society. And John, you've given us a little bit of an idea of, you know, kind of where you're located and where you operate out of, and you have really a lot of different things that people can utilize you as a resource and really experience the Tanner houses, specifically what we're looking at for the holiday event.
Exactly. The William Tanner House is a historic house museum. It was built in 1857. It's been used as a museum by the Historical Society actually since 1936.
Oh, wow.
So we've had quite a long time. Every December we do a holiday-themed event, and for the last 8 or 9 years we've actually had different artists and designers come in and decorate the various rooms in the house. And so that's something that a lot of people like to come and see. Every year they come up with different ideas. Every year I say, this is the best year, and you know, what can they do next year? And
then they always do.
Yeah, and they do. So if you're coming to Aurora, to come to Phillips Park, which is a wonderful, wonderful drive-through. I haven't been there this year yet, but you could come and see the Tanner House. This year, 2 things are different. One is that we're free the whole time,
wow.
and although donations are always appreciated.
Of course.
And the second thing is that we have evening hours. So we're open for the Tanner House holidays, for the decorated house, on Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4, but also Friday evenings from 4 to 7. So theoretically, you could come and see the Tanner House on a Friday evening, and then drive over to Phillips Park and see the lights there and make an evening of it.
Sure.
Now we have just 2 more weekends to go, so we'll be open this coming weekend. Will be the 19th and the 21st before Christmas, and then after Christmas we'll be open the 26th and the 28th. So we close on the 28th, which is also the last day of the Festival of Lights at Phillips Park.
It is really kind of nice how it's working out this year, that with Christmas kind of being that later in the week, we've kind of gotten to extend it a little bit. And I know you mentioned that is thanks to a donor who has made
yes,
made it
we had an
available.
anonymous donor this year who enabled us to be able to open up the house free, and we also have music every day that we're open, and music in the parlor live, and so it's a nice thing, and as I say, the rooms are I think, you know, spectacular as usual.
Now, who are these artists and designers? How are they connected, maybe with you or the Historical Society?
You know, some of them are people who have been supporters of us over the years. One of them is one of our better volunteers who really just joined us a couple of years ago as a volunteer. It has a very artistic bent. Another person is an art conservator who's worked with us.
Okay.
And then we actually had the French Club from West High also decorated a room. And so it's just every year there's different people. Some are actually, you know, semi-professional designers. Some are just artistic people.
Right. And if you could, again, just give us an idea of where you can find the Tanner House for anybody who's familiar. It might be kind of common sense of where they're headed, but if you're not familiar with the area.
if you're going to put it in a program and look it up, it's 305 Cedar Street.
Okay.
But if a location would be the northwest corner of Cedar and Oak, and that's 2 blocks west of Lake Street, Route 31, and 2 blocks north of New York Street. It's right in the middle of a residential neighborhood.
Okay. If you could talk just a little bit about the Tanner family and a little bit of a background on the house itself, because as you know, the holiday decor is really a great draw to come view that, but the house itself just really has a lot of history in the area.
And I don't know if it's possible to look at any of the things that I've brought, to get the camera in close maybe to the picture on the top. I don't know how close we can get on that or not, because I know you have great camera people here. But oh, there's a picture. Over here you see actually the house, the exterior of the house in the winter time, and it's a large house. Yeah, there we go. It's a stately Victorian mansion. Mr. Tanner was one of the early settlers in Aurora, and he came actually in the 1830s from New York State. And he farmed originally. By the 1850s, they had moved into town. The farm was on the outskirts of town, and they were in town living in another house, and by that time he had started a hardware store and decided to buy a new property and build a more grand house. And this is the house that they actually moved into right before Christmas of 1857. And lived in the house. The family lived there. Mr. and Mrs. Tanner died. 2 of their 10 children lived in the house afterwards. They never married, a brother and sister. And they both died in 1934. And 2 years later, the 2 surviving children who lived elsewhere donated the house to the Historical Society, and it became a museum.
Sure, what a great legacy for the family. And I know you mentioned they moved in right before Christmas of that year, and I think you are featuring one of the children. You can kind of, as you go this year, sort of learn a little bit about what it would be like.
Right. One of the daughters, Tippy was her nickname, but and that's an upstairs bedroom. We have set up kind of with some toys and things, Victorian era things that you might think you would see around Christmas time in a child's room or something like that.
Very cool. Now that is just one piece of what the Historical Society does, but I do want to say that is you are there Friday evenings and Sunday afternoons these next 2 weeks in December. But another location that you have, you can view the art museum and the store that you have, and there are so many different kind of souvenirs and gift ideas that are really, specific and representative of the Aurora area.
Yes, we, you can get some of these materials at the Tanner House, but we have a wider selection at our downtown store, where we have the David L. Pierce Art and History Center at 20 East Downer. It's right in the middle of downtown Aurora, right on Stolp Island. It would be located near Downer and Stolp, about a block south of the Paramount, and a lot of people know where the Paramount is. And the museum store there has a wide range, a variety of things, and I brought some of them today.
Absolutely.
And I should say, the store, we're expanding our store hours. Normally we're open Wednesday through Saturday, noon to 4. The week before Christmas, starting this week actually, we're going to add the Sunday and Monday. So we'll be open from this Wednesday the 17th through Monday the 22nd. So we're adding 2 more days. We're a city building, and normally the city buildings close at noon on Christmas Eve. So we're adding Sunday and Monday, and that'll be our last open day before Christmas. And well, one of the newest things that I'd like to promote is a book that we have called Phillips Park, Aurora's Treasure. Oh my gosh. And how about that? And I worked with Ron Moses on this. Ron's father was Ray Moses. You heard Ray Moses drive.
Right.
Ray was the park superintendent from about 1926 to 1978. And Ray's father actually ran the park before that, George Moses.
Okay.
And so Ron is, it's a family legacy for Ron.
Sure.
This is something that we've been kind of working on for over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And we really just got it into gear this year we said, you know, this is going to get finished. And so it has a lot of history about Phillips Park. People will remember things like the miniature train ride, the carousel, the sunken garden at Phillips Park, which we have the new garden now, but the old garden was in existence since 1940. And we did try to bring it up to date, and I did want to see if, let's see, which way should I go here? Where's the camera here?
So you've even got this is a little idea of the Festival of Lights.
Yes, this is, okay, now I'm trying to, okay, there. We have a couple of pictures of the Festival of Lights, the big archway that you see as you approach and go through. And so that's one of the many facets of Phillips Park. This book retails for $27.95 plus tax, and we were fortunate to be able to do this because we did have a pool of money to help fund this, and that was when Ron was an alderman. Actually, he got us some aldermanic funds.
Okay.
And so that was nice to do.
Seems like a great little coffee table book, maybe for somebody from the area.
Well, and it's 170 pages. There's 300 pictures.
Wow, yeah.
It's mainly black and white, but we do have the color section at the back. So we have about I think 30 pictures of 30 pages of color pictures. So it is. I'm very happy with the way it turned out, and so that's a nice gift idea.
Great.
But we also have plenty of other books. One that came out this year, Aurora's East-West football rivalry. If you,
great.
Let's see,
sports
it's
fans.
so hard to figure out which way the camera is. Here we go. Okay, right. Oh, I'm looking right at it. Okay, all right. And that's a book by Steve Solars, who's one of our board members. This is a neat little piece. It really kind of chronicles the whole rivalry from 1893 when it began up to the present.
Now we've got just a minute or two left, so I want to make sure we talk a little bit about the Handy Andy. Is that where?
Well, sure. Andy Aurora. Now this is our new Andy Aurora T-shirt here, and quite a nice thing. I'm from Aurora, Illinois, and proud of it. This retails for $20, and also the Andy ornament, which retails for just $8.95.
Okay.
Okay.
And all of these are available at the David L. Pierce Art Center?
Art and History Center, and a lot of other things as well. Books, cups, mugs, magnets,
and you
posters.
do have the Tanner House ornament as well. You know, maybe if you're going to the Tanner House
yes.
this Christmas during the holiday season to see that. A great one is kind of a souvenir and also, you know, just sort of an heirloom to pass through. But I want to make sure we get the dates out again for the Festival of Light celebration is happening nightly again. And if you want to give us the times.
We open every night at 5 o'clock through December 28th. Weeknights we close at 9, and Fridays and Saturdays we close at 10.
All right, that's the Festival of Lights in Phillips Park in Aurora. And John, of course, you've talked about the Tanner House Museum. Historical Society information can all be found on the website. But Mary and John, I want to thank you both for coming out. It's really been great to hear about the so many different aspects of Aurora and the city itself and the history and new things that are becoming part of the history. And thanks for joining us on Fox Valley today. We will see you next time.